Austin Hill on the inside. Will it go? Jeremy Clements on the outside.
It's not going. There goes Clements. He's going to be clear.
Clements clears. The 44 follows him. Sage Karam pushing Jeremy Clements out to a big lead.
Look behind them, the 16 of AJ and Brandon Brown. They're teamed up as well. They're going to have a huge run off of turn 2.
They got to get separated by the time they get to 2. That's going to slow them down. Look how far Jeremy Clements has gotten out in front of everybody.
Big run for Brandon Brown with the assistance of Allmendinger.
Here comes Brandon Brown, closing in on Clements. Clements trying to block, trying to slow this down. Here comes AJ to the bottom. Can Clements get there?
Brandon Brown made that move way too soon.
Inside.
That allowed Allmendinger just to turn left on him.
Coming up on one more time, around and around goes the 98. Will they get the white flag? The white flag
keep
in
digging.
the air.
Back to the top.
Jeremy Clements in front, and the caution comes out. That will end the race. Jeremy Clements is going to win at Daytona.
Look at his dad.
You're the leader here.
It's been 164 starts.
Look at this.
Can you guys believe this? Oh my God. Oh my God, it was your day, son. Awesome.
Persistence pays off for the Clements family. Just his second career win. The last one came 164 starts ago at Road America. And he'll come by and get the checkered flag. For the second time in his career, Jeremy Clements wins in the Xfinity Series.
White flag, 1 lap to go. Track is clear. McDowell has pulled off.
All that Kyle Busch needs to do right now is not make a mistake. There's Samantha, his wife. They just had their new baby. I mean, this is a big day for this team.
This would be a big day for Adam Stevens. Took the job as the crew chief for Kyle Busch this year. It would be his first win as a Sprint Cup Series.
Yeah, they worked together in the Xfinity Series. They really looked forward to this year being together. Thought they were going to be able to do some great things, and today they've proven it.
Last time to turn 7.
I mean, you have to admit, this is an incredible accomplishment for this young man. To come out of the hospital, get back in his car. He won the Xfinity race in Michigan, and here he is. He's going to drive this thing into victory circle here on a road course where people thought it might be his Achilles heel.
Kurt closes the gap, 4-5 car lengths as Kurt wobbles off turn 10. One last chance at turn 11.
Watch his 4 and the 15 back there. They got a pretty good battle going on for third.
And off the final turn. No crutches necessary. Kyle Busch wins at Sonoma. And for the first time in Sprint Cup history, the Busch brothers finish 1-2.
Oh, big run in the middle of the corner by Blaney.
Look at this! Down the back straight. JGR versus Team Penske. Blaney versus Hamlin. And Blaney's got his nose in front.
All the way.
The champ wants a chance to defend. 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. Less than 1.5 miles from here. Now Reddick on the low side. Hamlin goes to the top. He's looking for the huge run down the backstretch. But can Reddick do it from the bottom? This championship this year has given us some of the most incredible closing moments. You pick this one. Blaney, Reddick, or Hamlin. Reddick is not done with yet. Tyler Reddick just drives all the way around Ryan Blaney. Can you believe what you've just seen? Reddick's going to Phoenix. Tyler Reddick wins the Straight Talk 400 in the most incredible way.
In front of him, the white flag is up. Kevin Harvick has started the last lap of the race. Ryan Newman's trying the high side to see if he can get a big run here on this 42 car. Harvick, Gordon, Kenseth, Keselowski, the top four. Hamlin and Logano, 5th and 6th. Ryan Newman looking to find a way through it. Doesn't look like it's going to work. Win, and he's in to compete for a championship. Checkered flag at Phoenix for Kevin Harvick. Newman's beside the 42, and these 42's in the wall.
Clear, checkered flag, checkered flag.
Ryan Newman is going to get in with that move on the last lap. We said, what would drivers do to make it happen? We just saw what they would do. And that's going to knock Jeff Gordon out.
Whole year, guys. Let's go win Homestead, man. That's all we can do. You guys did everything great this year.
It comes down to 1.1 position. SVG would have to get by Allmendinger to gain a point.
Love locked up the right front with contact with the 51.
Jesse Love, the 19-year-old, has to find something on this final lap. It looks like Sam Mayer is going to have that position, and SVG might be able to get his teammate. Can the two on the bottom screen find one or two positions?
He's going to have two of them. Here's one.
SVG has the advantage in a tiebreaker. If those two end tied in the points, SVG has the advantage. Now Love has gained a position. SVG needs a spot. Mayer still out front, looking to win his way into the next round of the playoffs.
Oh, aggression by Jesse Love. He needed the spot. He took it from the 38.
Jesse Love now has a little cushion. 2 points into the final turn, the 16 and the 1. Sam Mayer is going to win at the Roval.
Way to fight, buddy.
SVG looks like it'll end up potentially 2 points out of the playoffs. Christopher Bell, can he get up there and win his way into the next round? Green flags back in the air.
A lot of contact into turn one. They're wrecking. The 34's in the wall as well.
48s. Will they be able to keep going? Harrison Burton in the 21. He's turned around as well. They keep banging on the side. It's the 16 of Allmendinger in front now.
He's sideways.
Harvick's decided. AJ off of the track. Harvick in the lead.
Kevin Harvick takes the lead away. Now running second, the 9 of Chase Elliott. And around goes the 9. Elliott sliding through the grass.
All right, forward.
Back up front, the 20 of Christopher Bell is all the way up to 4th place, guys, and he's going for 3rd.
Kevin Harvick, slow, coming on to the big oval. And here comes Bell. Bell all the way up to 2nd now as he's battling with Allmendinger. Christopher Bell pushing the 16 up over the humps. And now, congestion again. Problems in that trilogy chicane.
The 14 is backwards. We're on board with him. The points are going to completely move around as the field gets reset. And remember, if Bell wins, it's automatic advancement. It moves the entire cut line. He's in 3rd with 2 to go.
2 to go. Bell running 3rd. Reddick is 2nd. And everybody fighting for positions, including that 2 of Cindric.
Here comes Bell trying to close in on Reddick in 2nd place. He's right on the back bumper of that 8 car headed to turn 5.
And we've seen cars struggle through 5 and 6 today.
There's Cindric. Everybody's trying to attack him on those older tires.
Bell to the inside of the 8 car. He takes 2nd place. Bell going after the leader.
Now, no cars between Christopher Bell and the freshest tires and Kevin Harvick leading the race. Cautions come out. There'll be a restart.
Ty Dillon spun out here.
Full course.
Oh, the curb. You got a piece of the curb right here. That's down in this back chicane.
The elimination race in the round of 12. back underway. Side by side and carnage in turn one. 6 cars turned around. Can they get going again? Out front is Christopher Bell. He's past the 4 of Harvick.
Blaney, one of those cars in turn one, finally pulling away.
With Bell as the leader, that has Larson 1 point, just 1 point above the cut line. Cindric 1 back. Again, that's just a position on the racetrack. Cindric, if he gains a position, he'll be tied with Larson.
And he is in a battle back here. You see it at the bottom of the screen, side by side with the 43 car of Jones down the back straightaway.
And again, the tiebreaker as we see brakes locking up as they go into trilogy.
Oh, the two's around.
Kane, and around goes the 2. Cindric now waiting to get back on track. Larson +5 now as they're running on the track. White flag in the air, one more time around. Christopher Bell, can he win his way into the next round of the playoffs?
4 cars spinning across the front straightaway here. Ty Dillon, the 23 car as well. Ty Gibbs.
Briscoe, Larson tied right now for the final spot. Briscoe trying to grab another position. With that,
Briscoe's got to make this work. He's got to go find this spot. He's got new tires.
the tiebreaker would go to Chase Briscoe, the best finish in this round if they stay even. Christopher Bell now coming out onto the oval. Bell, what a day this would be for Christopher Bell.
Briscoe underneath Eric Jones, but Austin Dillon underneath Briscoe.
Those points are going to change again. The final time through the trilogy chicane for Christopher Bell.
Right side, all clear, all clear.
Cole Custer throwing a block right there on everybody.
Briscoe with a huge drive into the rear chicane.
A 2-point advantage for Briscoe. And Christopher Bell, he has done it. He's won his way into the round of 8.
Is it going to be somebody with a win already this season, or is it going to be a fresh winner race their way into the playoffs? Kyle Busch leads the way. He has not won since 2023 and is desperate for a win. He's coming off one of his best results of the season last weekend in Michigan, but he's being pushed by Christopher Bell. A little bit of space, a little bit of room. Harrison Burton's not out of it. Cody Ware's not out of it. And Parker Retzlaff is having the moment of his racing life, being at the front of this field. 1 to go here in Daytona.
Nemechek made it 3 wide in that second lane, that second line, and that has killed the momentum.
You've got to go back a long, long way for Kyle Busch. 2008, the last time he won here at Daytona. And now he is tantalizingly close to that victory. But here comes Harrison Burton for the Wood Brothers. He's being pushed by Parker Retzlaff. And the 23-year-old from Huntersville, North Carolina is at the front of this field and may race his way into the playoffs. Busch goes low, Burton blocks, he gets back up, comes to the line. Jeff, your little boy has done it. Harrison Burton wins in Daytona and does what his uncle and dad did. How about that? Ross Chastain in the 1, doing whatever he can to try and stay alive and hope that he has a chance, but everybody that he's surrounded by on fresh tires. Here we go. Gibbs on that high line, Larson on the low line. Briscoe feels he has a chance. Gibbs is looking good on points to make it. Briscoe wants to race his way in like Chastain does. Here goes Briscoe on the inside. The The one of Chastain got an amazing start, better than I expected. 54 kind of paid that off, but what a move by the 14 down the backstretch. That was epic. These two were beating and banging on each other 4 years ago in the Xfinity Series race. And it was Briscoe who came out on top. Now look at Kyle Busch on that low line. And he hits the wall. Briscoe hits the wall. There is nothing between these two at the end of 500 miles. 1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. Can Briscoe hang on? Or has Kyle Busch got something? Both guys are going to break a very long winless streak. But who will it be? Kyle Busch throwing everything at Chase Briscoe he can. It's a win and you're in. And the 29-year-old from Mitchell, Indiana, Chase Briscoe wins the Southern 500 and is going to the playoffs. 2 weeks in a row, we have been treated to a win and you're in. This time, it's Chase Briscoe.
God, it's so good, dude. Holy smokes.
And Blaney is there. Blaney knows that Larson's vulnerable. He gives him a shove, gives him another shove. This is for a championship to get to Phoenix and fight for a title. And the Team Penske Ford is through. And Larson says, you want to drive me like that? I can do the same.
That's what Chase Elliott wants to see. He wants these guys battling it out.
15 laps to go to determine what this championship 4 looks like next weekend.
Blaney with big corner entry speed. Big high arc.
Look at this. The disappointment a week ago in Homestead Miami Speedway when Tyler Reddick went right around the outside. Now he gets on the inside of Chase Elliott. And again, another new race leader. Elliott's trying to fight the best he can. Truex and Suarez are up ahead, but the Team Penske Ford is in front. There's a little push and shove going on there for that final, getting to this final lap. There's half a mile to go for Ryan Blaney. The reigning NASCAR Cup Series champion is going to have an opportunity to defend. Last week at these 2 corners, 3 and 4, he lost the lead and lost the chance. He lost sleep over it. Ryan Blaney's not losing anything here in Martinsville. He wins and is going to Phoenix.
To the white flag, Ryan Newman to the outside of Keselowski. Newman leads at that line. Who leads at the next one?
But you got to get back to the front because a caution can happen and you can be out of luck. Keselowski really doesn't have the help that he's going to need to win this race.
And he must win it.
But he's in good shape now because Newman has no push.
Here comes Landon Castle behind Matt Kenseth, behind Brad Keselowski.
But watch Kenseth, he can still make a move.
Landon Castle to the outside, tri-oval, sprint to the checkered flag. Who wins? Brad Keselowski wins it at Talladega.
Yeah! Lane's called Victory Lane.
When you absolutely positively have to win a race and you get it done, that has to feel unbelievably good.
I tell you, I've said it a number of times. You back these drivers into corners, it's amazing to see the extraordinary things that they can do. And Brad Keselowski was not going to be denied.
Here comes the contact.
There's the push. He gets to the inside.
Up on the curb.
For the lead. Bell to the inside. Oh, and more contact behind him. The 6 gets shoved up the racetrack by Larson. And Bell is in front. Ross Chastain trying to get by the 9. Again, that points battle to determine who is the final championship 4 driver. Now Bell pulling away with those fresher tires.
Need the 9 right here, Ram.
Keselowski way up the racetrack. Briscoe on the outside, 3 wide. His championship hopes starting to falter.
As Briscoe falls back through the field, though, that's another spot for Denny potentially. You see Denny right there.
Gotta have a spot first.
They're tied again. The tiebreaker goes to Chastain. Coming up on 2 to go.
Denny knocks the 24 up the racetrack.
Chastain doesn't have anybody in front of him to go past. He's too far away from everybody.
Less than 2 laps. Christopher Bell trying to do it again. He's already won his way to the next round. From Charlotte, 1 lap to go. Christopher Bell. If he wins the 1 and the 11, fighting for every point right now. Denny Hamlin, 2-point favorite to get in as the championship 4. Bell out of turn 4. He's going to do it. He's won his way into the championship.
Let's go get us a championship.
And the fight for the point right at the line. The 1 of Chastain past Hamlin.
And the white flag waves. 1 to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
This is the closest Hamlin's been in a few laps.
I tell you, I think Hamlin's he's going to pounce. If he's got anything, Tony better not do what he did in the 7 this time or he's in trouble.
Try to dive you down here.
They're working him.
Not close enough.
Nope. Tony's right where he needs to be, man.
See if he can make a gain. It's all about getting off of this corner. He gets in there. Oh, he missed it a little bit.
Clear about 2. Clear about 2. Be ready for the dive.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's wheel hopping. He's going to hit him.
Hamlin is there.
He hit him.
Hey,
oh,
got him. Oh, no.
It's not over.
Get him back.
Denny got in there and wheel hopped. I don't think he meant for that to happen, but then he made contact with Tony. I think Tony was also pretty loose getting in there.
Well, that was what happened to Tony lap before, you know, when he got loose into 7 and that allowed Hamlin to close up.
Hey, this thing's not over, guys. Watch what happens into turn 11 in this heavy braking zone.
2 more corners. Hamlin trying to pull
Tony's
away.
Close enough.
I think Tony used up his stuff. I mean, we knew he was having, you know, issues
Here we go.
with the car.
Stewart inside. He is there. He gets Hamlin. They hit. And Stewart comes off turn 11. And he's coming to the flag.
How did that
Tony
happen?
Stewart wins.
How did that happen? Are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness.
All right, man. How does that feel, buddy? Still a champion, buddy.